Hello and welcome. In this demo session today, we'll show you how Connecteam works for manufacturing companies. Let's begin by quickly discussing what we'll see in today's demo. So we'll start with a general overview and quick orientation on how Connecteam works. We'll then carry on to talk about some of our operational features, beginning with our job scheduler to tell your workers exactly when and where they will be working. We'll continue with our time clock to easily track your employees' work time to conduct payroll. We'll then carry on to our forms feature, which will enable you to collect information from your workers whilst they're out doing their jobs. And then also briefly go over our tasks feature, which will enable you to quickly and easily create and assign tasks for your team. Finally, we'll go over some of our knowledge base and training features, and also some of our communication features. So let's dive in. In our session today, we'll be demonstrating two views. Let's start with what we can see on our screen here, and this will be your admin's dashboard, which you can access from any web browser. The second view that we'll be demonstrating is the Connecteam mobile app. This will be your workers' view when accessing their app from their mobile phones. Let's start with your admin management dashboard. Your admin management dashboard is where you decide how you want to create your manufacturing company app. On your left sidebar here, you can see all your different features. You can add any new feature. You can, of course, remove any feature that you're not interested in. And you can also edit any feature to give it a different name, change its color and its icon. So you can create an app that speaks your own company language and suits your style, so your employees will feel like the app was designed especially for them. Super easy. You can also gain some statistics here, etc. On the mobile app, you'll notice that the main page comes up like a news feed. This is where you can publish any announcement for your workers, and they can get all the updates that they need. The second tab that you'll find here is the Assets tab, and this is where your workers can access any feature on the platform that they'll need, so they can easily communicate with anyone, can access their scheduler or their time clock, and submit any form directly from here. Of course, on the main page, you'll also find some quick access buttons for the most used features. So let's talk about our job scheduler. The purpose of our job scheduler is to help you easily and quickly create shifts and distribute them to your operators. You'll notice that our schedule comes up in a pretty straightforward calendar view, with the dates of the week at the top and your list of operators from top to bottom on the left-hand side. Now within the calendar, each block represents a different shift, and you can also see that they're color-coded according to the different types of jobs, so it's easy to differentiate between them. Another thing that you'll see here is your workers' availability, so you can make sure that you're not assigning anyone for a shift on a day that they're unavailable to work. You can also see the total hours and number of shifts planned for each worker for the week, so you can make sure that your schedule is planned well, evenly balanced, and you're not planning any overtime in advance. Now, creating a new shift is super easy to do, and there are a few ways in which you can do it. The first one would be by going to any specific date in a specific employee and clicking on the plus button. Here you can fill in all the relevant information regarding this shift. Another way would be to click on the Add Shifts button, and here you can add multiple shifts all at once, import shifts from an Excel, and even add and create your own shift templates with all the information for the shift already stored in them, so you can easily drag and drop them into the schedule to assign them just like that. Now, once you've created and published your schedule, your workers will of course be notified with all the details coming up to their shifts. And of course, they can always go into their mobile app and click on their job schedule to see all their upcoming shifts. So let's take a look at this worker's upcoming shift. And here he can see all the information and details regarding his upcoming shift, from the date and time, the exact address, which job he's assigned to, and any specific notes and instructions that you've left for him coming up to his shift. At the bottom here, he'll find the options to either accept or reject this shift, These, by the way, are completely customizable, so you can decide if you'd like to have both these buttons, just one of them, or none of them. But this will give you the option to receive your employee's confirmation regarding his upcoming shift, meaning that once he's acknowledged this shift, he'll have no excuse but to show up to this shift as he's deliberately accepted it. Now let's go back to the schedule, and I'll show you how you can easily create your schedule. So the first step of setting up your schedule would be to set up your different jobs. In my example here, I have two assembly lines, the blue one and the green one. I have my line leader position and an office job. After you've added your different jobs, you can go ahead and add your new shifts. There are two ways to go about this, either by adding shifts to the users, or you can also view your schedule by the different jobs to rather create your needs. I'll go on to next week's to a clean slate so I can show you an example. So let's say that you know that you need a day shift for the blue line position on every day of the week. Here's how you can easily create it. Let's call it a day shift. This will be from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and you'd want it to repeat itself every day of the week. So you can set the repetition right here to end after 5 shifts or much more. Let's go ahead and save it as a draft. So just like that, you can create your need for the whole week for the blue line position. You can do the same for your evening shifts and the other positions too. And once you've added and created all of your needs, you can take this whole week and save it as a template. So you can then go on to an empty week and just load it up without having to create it again from scratch, just like that. Now, if you move back to your view by users, all of these shifts will be waiting right here in shifts without users to be assigned with an easy drag and drop, just like this, to the relevant operator. Now, one more thing that I'd like to show you is that we have the ability to create shifts that are available for the workers to claim, meaning that if, for example, you're having a busy week and you need to add some weekend shifts as well, and you want to make them voluntary, you can easily create a shift. Let's go with our green line here, call it a weekend shift, and enable users to claim this shift, decide how many spots you'll need there. And what this will enable is that users can claim this shift on a first come, first serve basis. You can also add an admin approval stage as well. So you or any other admin on your account will be getting all of your users' requests, and you can decide which one of them will take this shift. So just to quickly recap what we've talked about here in the schedule. So our schedule gives your employees the ability to view all the information and details for their shifts so they can come fully prepared and know exactly when they should be working and where. And for you, you'll be getting a schedule that can make your life super easy for creating your schedule and assigning your different employees. Clocking into a shift as a worker is super easy to do. As you can see here at the bottom of their shift details, all your workers will have to do is open their time clock, and then with no room for confusion, click on this big start button to clock in. As simple as that. Now they can go about doing their jobs, and besides that, if they go back to their main page of the app, they can always see that they're clocked in, which job they're clocked into, and their time that is running in the background. Now let's take a look at this from a manager's perspective. In your admin's dashboard, when you access your time clock, you'll be getting two views. The first view that comes up is the today view. This will give you an overview of all of your workers, who's clocked in right now, what time they've clocked in at, and which job they're clocked into. And if you scroll further down here, you'll be getting this nice map view, so you can get your workers' exact location of clock in. So you can basically get assurance that your workers are clocking in from the work premises and no one is stealing time from you. Now you can also take this one step further by creating a geofence. A geofence would be a circle that you can locate around your factory. which will prevent your workers from clocking in when they're not within the premises. Let's continue. Another thing that you can do here is use the filtering options to narrow down the list and only be viewing the relevant employees that you want to view. For example, only users who are scheduled for a shift today or scheduled for a shift right now. And here you can easily understand who's supposed to be clocked in now, but isn't yet. Now, as mentioned, Connecteam is an all-in-one solution, so you can easily communicate with your workers right here from this page by hovering on their name and sending them a message. Now, to conduct payroll, let's move over to the Timesheets tab. Here in the Timesheets tab, notice how you're getting an automatic calculation of all the hours worked by your workers according to the payroll period that you've set. At the top here, you'll be getting your totals, and in this table view, you'll be getting for each and every worker a breakdown of their total hours, regular hours, overtimes, and absences. Of course, you can set the rules for overtime and absences according to what you'd like them to be. Now, if you want to view any employee's timesheet in more detail, simply click on their name and the full timesheet will come up. Here you can get the breakdown of this specific employee, and notice how overtime is separated for you, so it's easy to spot. Now, of course, if you need to amend any change here, you can easily edit the timesheets just like that. And here as well, you have the chat option if anything doesn't make sense or add up, so you can easily chat with that employee. Now, once you've gone over your employees' timesheets, all that's left to do is to simply export the timesheets in a few different types of reports to conduct payroll. When you scroll down to the bottom of this page, you'll be getting some interesting job insights regarding your resource allocation, so you can see exactly how your time is being spent amongst your different jobs. Of course, you can also enlarge this to get the full breakdown and produce reports as well. Now, one last thing that I'd like to show you is that almost everything that we've seen here on the admin dashboard can also be done when you're on the go on your mobile app. You as an admin on the system will also have this little admin tab here at the bottom corner. And if you access your time clock through the admin tab here, you'll see that you'll be getting the today view with all of your users who are clocked in, the map view as well, and of course your timesheets. So you can perform any action and keep track of your employees' times, even when you're on the go and doing your rounds in the plant, not necessarily in front of a computer. With Connecteam's Forms feature, you can create any type of form, checklist, or report for your workers to fill in directly from their mobile apps, so you can collect real-time information from your workers whilst they're out performing their jobs. Let's see what it looks like from a worker point of view. So in order to reach the forms on the mobile app, your workers will have to click on the Assets tab here and search for their forms out of the list of features. Once they click on that, the full list of available forms for this worker will come up. And these are a few examples as to what forms can be used for. So we can see that I have here my line inspection checklist, my daily opening and closing checklist, a shift summary report. And as an example, let's say that this worker has come across a safety hazard and would like to report it. Notice how it can easily be done. So here in the form, you can decide exactly which fields of information you'd like to collect from them, so you can get all the information in a very organized way. And of course, you can add a rating field and even an image field, so they can add images directly from their mobile camera so that the report can be as descriptive and concise as possible. Of course, your workers can also sign off their forms for accountability. And just like that, send it out. Super easy. And it took me about 20 seconds to do. Now, after sending out the report, you as an admin on the system will be notified about it with a push notification on your mobile app. And you can also get a copy of this entry directly to your email. Of course, at any point, if you'd like to see all the entries that have been made to a specific form, you can do that on your admin's dashboard by just going to the forms feature right here. So let's go and access our safety hazard report to take a look at our most recent entry. So what you're seeing here is a list of all entries that have been made to this form from newest to oldest. And if you click on this little icon here, you will be getting a nice visible way, and basically the exact same way that it looked like for the worker filling it in, with all the information regarding this entry. Now, if you scroll further down this page, you'll find the very useful manager fields. This is where you can actually close the loop on this entry and manage these entries by adding notes for future reference, updating the status for each entry, and even assigning it to the relevant person within your company, like the safety officer in this case. And if I scroll further down, you'll also find your comment section, so you can communicate with your workers regarding their different entries. Here, you'll find the table view that collects all the different entries and input that's been filled in by your workers. Of course, you can easily and briefly go over everything that's been filled in. You can edit any change right here very easily, or edit any manager field as well. And of course, each of these entries can be downloaded and printed. The table itself can be filtered out to only view the relevant information that you'd like to view. And you can even export the table itself. Now, this is just an example of a form that I've created on my account, of course. You can create any type of form that you'd like according to your needs, and creating a new form is super simple and easy to do. All you have to do is go to your forms on your admin dashboard and click on Add New. You'll find that we have some very useful templates that you can use to either gain inspiration from or just use as is, or you can always start from scratch and build your own form. Here are all the different types of fields that you can use when building your form. And on the right-hand side, you'll always see the mobile preview of what it would look like for your workers on their mobile phones. So you can very easily create any type of form with all of your needs, easily edit it, save it, and publish it out to your team. Another operational feature that I'd like to very quickly take you through is our Quick Tasks feature. Our Quick Tasks feature gives you the ability to easily create one-off tasks and assign them to your workers. And for the first time here, you can allow your users who are not necessarily admins on your account to create tasks for their teammates too. Now, creating a new task is super easy, and you can go about it in one of two ways. Either by going to the date and adding a task, or by clicking on the Add Task button here to add single or multiple tasks. Now, when creating a new task, you can fill in all the information for your worker to view, so they can easily know exactly what they need to do. Beginning with a task title, and I'll go with a quick example of organizing the equipment room. Now, this can also be used for rearranging the inventory or any other task that you see relevant, giving it a quick description, adding your notes, assigning it to the relevant worker or group of workers if it's a team task, giving it a due date that it needs to get done by, and you can even set it to be a recurring task if needed. Here you'll find the tag section, so you can create tags to arrange your tasks by. Once all the information has been put in, you can easily publish the task and your workers will be notified. Now let's take a look at the worker's point of view. So your workers can always access their tasks right here in the Quick Action button. And let's take a look at this worker's open tasks. And here, as you can see, your worker can see exactly what needs to be done, including a picture, of course, so it's super easy and clear to understand, and your exact notes, the due date and time. And once it's done, they can easily mark it as done to report back to you. Super, super simple. Now, of course, you can also create those tasks when you're on the go from your mobile. So whenever you come across anything that needs to get done, you can simply create that task right here and push it out to your team. Connecteam also includes knowledge base and training capabilities to keep your team as professional as it gets. Let's see a few examples of those by going to our Assets tab here and scrolling down to find our Knowledge section. You can create your own employee handbook and upload things like your company policies, maybe policies regarding your wages or information regarding dress code and safety equipment, so your team can know exactly what's expected of them. Those would be examples of a knowledge base. Another thing that can be done is creating courses like a health and safety training module or a new operator onboarding course. You can create your own courses and add any type of media. For example, a video that you'd want your workers to watch, or asking them to complete any tasks on their first day. And of course, you can create it in different sections that will open up one after the other. Lastly, you can also create a quiz for your workers to go through, so you can test their knowledge and make sure that they're at the level that you'd want them to be. Of course, you can always see the exact statistics for each of those courses regarding your workers' progress on your admin dashboard. So here's my new operator onboarding course, and here at the top I can see exactly who completed it, who are still in progress, and who needs a reminder. So I can easily select them to send them a quick reminder. Connecteam also gives you and your team everything you need in order to communicate, starting with a company directory, so your workers can find the people that they need to get in touch with. The directory, of course, is searchable by name or by any other piece of information, like the person's position or title. So it's easy to find the relevant person with all the information regarding them and initiate the contact right from this page. Another thing that you'll find on your directory is what we call work contacts. These can be used to add any external contact like the company offices or any supplier or vendor, so your workers can reach out to them with all the relevant details that they'll need. Secondly, you'll find your own in-app chat. Our chat includes one-on-one chats and group chats as you'd expect, and of course for any of those you can add any type of media attachment. The nice thing about our chat is that it was designed for organizations, and therefore none of the information will be saved on your workers' personal phones. Besides that, you're getting full control over the communication in your company, and you can always manage all your teams and channels right from your dashboard, and also set different settings and permissions as to what your users can do on the chat. Lastly, in terms of communication, each of your workers will be getting their personalized newsfeed on the main page of the app. Here you can post any announcement or important update out to your team, like this one, for example, for employee morale and recognition, or more operational oriented reminder to review the safety protocol, or even a nice happy holidays greeting. Notice how engaging this looks, and that your workers can also like and comment on each of those updates. But most importantly, these updates are completely trackable, and for the very first time, you'll be getting the full list of which of your workers has viewed or did not view any of your updates. So if you access these updates on your dashboard and go to any specific update, you can scroll down to find the full table of your workers and the status of who viewed and who did not view this specific update. Of course, you can also filter out to only see the employees that did not yet view your update, select them all, and send them a reminder through the app. As you saw in this demo today, Connecteam is the ultimate all-in-one employee management solution for your manufacturing company, and it can be completely customized according to your needs. I hope you enjoyed.